John Herrera here, doing my little day one review of Tony Robbins. Very excited. I'm here actually in Singapore. Tony Robbins flew to Singapore to do his 4-day Unleash the Power event. I've never been to a Tony Robbins live event. I've only read his books, I've seen his videos, but for me, it's really to see how it feels and experience him as a coach, as a trainer, facilitator, as well as seeing 12,000 people intense. So here are my takeaways for, my first day. I didn't know what to expect. It started around 12. I see so many people excited. I feel the movie felt like a rock concert. Um, what's cool is like he's creating a lot of experiences where you're at a rock concert, but he doesn't like you bored. He wants you to be in what you call a peak state. A peak state is when you're emotionally engaged, visually engaged. So every like 5 or 2 minutes, you're dancing, you're singing, you're talking, you're engaged. So the reason for this is when you're in a peak state, you're more in what you call that flow state, and you're engaged to be more creative, and you release your inner genius. So imagine we didn't have lunch in the sense that we didn't really stop for food. People were just coming in and out, tons of photos, tons of breakthroughs. What I liked about it is that you don't know yourself and your limits until you test them, and those limits that you carry are just basically a story or a blueprint that you put meaning to. So there are really cool notes. These really cool notebooks. So all we really working with was on like not the how, not the strategy, but more of what really keeps people from doing what they want. And of course, it's really fear, and fear of it boils down to two things, which is fear of not being enough and fear of not being loved. And it's true because a lot of people do things for attention and what they call significance. So what was my breakthrough is that you know even if you're trying to chase significance, it's going to be like a constant self-fulfilling prophecy. And if you realize you shift from the significance and certainty, you're going to be you should be focused on operating on a different level. So I don't want to spoil it because I think everyone should take this experience. I feel like it's one of those events that he does only once or twice, 3 times a year in Asia. But when you know things that you know but you don't apply it, I feel like I got a bigger breakthrough. And of course, in life when you want something, you're not really chasing like a certain thing. You're after a um, the feeling of being successful, the feeling of that car, the feeling of that relationship, and the feeling of life and living. And the reason why I shifted from what I was doing back then and doing this now, because you're feeling more of fulfillment. Um, I mean, it took like a couple of hours just to kind of 4 questions, but he really goes deep. We did some processes, we did some closed eye processes, we did some shares. I think the difference is when you watch a video and inspired, you're only getting like 5% of the experience. But when you're actually integrating the information, you're really like 100% totally. So no one was on their phones. I mean, people were on their phones, just taking photos. But I would say 50% or more were engaged. Um, I was I was writing down notes, but day one was basically facing your fears, and I would say the finale was doing the firewalk. And I thought the firewalk was basically, oh, it's not hot, it's gonna be like cold. Apparently people have died in the firewalk and people have got injured. 12,000 people doing the firewalk is a logistical challenge, but what was crazy about it is the colds were not just like warm, they were like red and gray, which means that it was at a couple of thousand degrees. um, he told us the process. We did it. We were at the peak state. We call it, you got to get hyped up and you got to do this thing where you go, yes, I'm ready. Then you start walking. You're not supposed to look at the coals, but you're supposed to say cool moss, cool moss, cool moss. So you're supposed to engage your mind and rewire it. Um, I got blistered, but it wasn't as hot. But now I have like you can do anything mindset, it was the mental. But people just basically went on it, celebrating. Um, it's also about engaging and celebrating and really dancing and then having. I'm not saying that life is just about celebrating, but taking a belief that you can't do and make it into a can. So we ended really late, not really tired for some reason. It's not like one of those seminars where you sit down and just watch. It was interesting. So I suggest if you really want to see what he does. There's a Netflix show he has. I'm Not Your Guru. I think he's doing a couple more seminars in Florida, but he travels in Australia and London. So amazing day one. My first day of Tony Robbins experience is, I would say, pretty good. So far, so good. I like it. I love it, and I'm looking to share people more about that. And always, one thing: watch your energy. Watch the type of energy you put in the world. You send people because your energy affects behavior. And what I like about is that I didn't realize that my energy can affect other people. And once you have certain behavior, when you're at a higher vibration or like at a peak state, you're in flow and things just happen. You're locked in, as well as your business is successful. Money comes in, and your actions are more flow. So there's no resistance. So for those people who are like looking at 2018 and saying things aren't really happening, look at yourself. What is it about yourself that's holding you back? What do you need to do? Oh, just hold on a second. What do you need to do to make your life like amazing? So the reason why I took the Tony Robbins seminar is that he had a Salesforce event, and he basically said, do one thing that will give you the most personal growth, and attend an event or a seminar. So I always said, this is the year I'll attend Tony Robbins. So this is on my bucket list. And I'm very, very happy I'm on day one. I'm still not in day four, so I'll give you guys updates. So have a great day. Um, Unleash the power within, and where the impossible becomes possible. And really, when you're around these people, you're around like these crazy and successful who believe everything about themselves, and that's what it takes to be. Because if people call you crazy for being happy, people don't call you crazy for being like annoyed and depressed. So make sure, don't care what you're conditioned to do or feel, you have to feel at your most grateful, joy, and have the most passion. So have a great day. Peak state, day two. I'm ready for you, Tony Robbins.